Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today at the first info session about the Access for Europe initiative. And we will make just a brief roundtable about the speakers. So myself, I'm Ahmed Hamoud, I'm the CEO of NABDA. And here we have with us Goja and Kuba from CoBrick and the Silesian Startup Foundation. Do you want to present yourself now, guys, or you do it during the presentation?
I guess that during the presentation.
Okay, great. So I will jump right into presenting you what we are about. So the EU from A4EU initiative is Access for European Union, is a tailor-made program for startups and tech companies, and it's your gateway to enter the European market, especially Poland, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Germany, Lithuania, and Estonia. And it's a great opportunity for you to scale your business in Europe. This program proceeds with a business-for-business approach, which is concentrated on delighting end customers and achieving common goals. What we mean by that is that our program is obtaining clients first. It's not it's a human-centered design approach. So we will focus on obtaining you your local partner or your local first early adopters, where you can adapt your products and services and give you a more sustainable growth and a meaningful access to the market. And we are two entities from two, let's say, the sides of the world. So on the South Mediterranean side, NABDA, which is a company based in Tunisia, in North Africa, which is a media and business consulting firm. And we have with us from the Polish part, we have the Silesian Startup Foundation and CoBrick. So the Silesian Startup Foundation is an NGO whose goal is to strengthen the foundation of the Silesian startup ecosystem by initiating or co-organizing activities, enabling the deepening cooperation between participants of the regional startup ecosystem and strengthening the position of the Silesian ecosystem on the innovative map of the world. The Silesian region is on the south part of Poland, and it's a very booming part of Poland, mostly for startups and industry. And CoBrick is a venture builder, is a startup house whose mission is to support global startups at every stage of development and build a startup ecosystem by providing startups with technological and business services. Our key partners, as you can see here, are from tech companies to different kinds of either venture builders or venture capitalists, and there are most of them in Europe. And now we will move to Goja to give us more about why Poland. This is the main topic of today. Goja, the floor is yours.
Yes, good morning. We are just checking if everything is fine. It's very pleasure to meet all of you guys. My name is Gosia or Małgorzata, as you prefer. The English version of my name is Margaret, if you want to call me like normally, not breaking your tongue. And yes, I'm representing Silesian Startup Foundation and CoBrick. I am a startup development manager, basically responsible for making our ecosystem growing, making startups, developing them within the ecosystem here at the regional level, but also at the international level. It's a pleasure to meet you. My previous experience is actually I'm an economist, and in the past I was actually already in charge of the soft landing program. It was actually in Warsaw for internationals from Europe, but I kind of know more or less what people from abroad are struggling with in Poland. So I hope if you decide to join our program, I will be able to help you with your problems or your ideas to develop them better in Europe. And yeah, my presentation is, or our presentation, because later on Kuba is going to join or say that the rest, but it's actually divided into 4 parts. The first one is just to give you the general overview about the Europe and what are the main differences in Europe and other ecosystems. Ahmed, can you change the slide or should I do it? Okay, so the first part is about Europe, and actually I found a great kind of summary. What is the difference between the US market and European market? And the third one is that actually with the funding, because in Europe it's been researched that we have a great access to funding for pre-seed and seed projects, but later on Europe is kind of not blessed with access to growth stage funding. It basically means that it's also like a growing market for investors. They are coming more and more here, but still like the biggest amount of money is probably not in Europe but in the US. So it's also our job to attract those founders, those investors who have a lot of wallet full of money to Europe. But we are doing it. The European Union is doing it, etc., etc. So there's a lot of people within the continent actually who are interested in doing it. The third one, the second one is about our, let's say, approach to verification of a startup, because in Europe, most of the founders, most of the investors, they are looking for startups who have some kind of attraction. So it means that in order to prove the market fit of a startup, it's good to have a revenue actually at the very beginning, or as soon as possible, because that's something that people pay attention on in Europe. I thought that it's only in Poland, but it turns out that everywhere people are looking for that. And yeah, that's something that if you want to join European market, you need to focus on, which is like just verify your product with the customers. And the third one is the sequential go-to-market strategy. Europe is, as you see, a lot of small different countries, and every country has different, let's say, language, culture, different way of doing a business. So in order to be in one of the country, you need to adjust your product to the market. That's for sure. It's not possible to do everything at once, and actually it is recommended to, do each country step by step. And be sure that everything is fitted to certain countries. But to make this picture a little bit smaller, let's focus on our region. Yes, the Germany and CE region, because that's actually where we want to operate. Actually, that's a bigger picture still, because here you have the whole CE market marked. But we will concentrate, as Ahmed mentioned at the very beginning, on Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and the Baltic countries, and Germany later on. But I will talk about Germany later, because they are different than other CE countries. But yeah, what is the CE advantages? And by CE, I mean those countries that you see marked in yellow. They are fastest emerging startup ecosystem in Europe. Our countries are at the developing stage, and they have the ambition to be global ecosystems. Every country, because they are very small, everyone has this focus on being global, on doing something at the bigger scale. And one of the advantages that we have is that we have a tech talent. All of these countries that you see here, most of them, they do have good people especially in the IT, in technology, and it is still affordable. However, I feel like the competitiveness in price is decreasing. Lately, it's not that huge advantage, but still it's affordable for others. And yeah, we have the access from the funding from Western European neighbors. It basically means that the western part of Europe is a little bit richer than us, and they are willing to invest in ideas who are based in CE region. And the example of such a Western European country that is willing to or interested in developing, let's say, CE projects based in CE is Germany. Which is on the next slide, because it is our good neighbor that is actually developing a startup ecosystem very well. They are having a 7th place in the global ranking based on ranking prepared by Startup Link. They are third best country in terms of creating the startup ecosystem in Western Europe, and Berlin is one of the cities that is actually creating a vibrant ecosystem. And they are In the world, they are placed on 11th place, and they have a good campus where innovation and startups are developing. So probably we can organize a visit over there and see what's going on there and how we can collaborate together. But yeah, moving on, let's talk a little bit more about Poland, about our country. I don't have a map, but I hope that you notice that our country is the biggest one within the CE region. And we are the 7th biggest market in Europe. Sometimes for Polish startups, it's actually a trap, but it might be also an opportunity for all of you because it is a good, big enough market to test your solution. It is actually, we have 40 million people who can see whether your product or solution works or not. But still, we are a country that is developing, and we are on to, we are open to new challenges, that's for sure. We need to be open for new challenges because of the situation that's right now happening in our country or close to our country. Especially I'm referring to the situation in Ukraine because there are some information that we will be engaged very much in rebuilding Ukraine after war. So there might be actually a room for startups, for other businesses to actually support us in this task. Yeah, we also have this tech talent as other CE regions, especially in the IT field. I saw one of the reports saying that we are the best within the CE region. We have the best developers, and they are doing a good job because of the good ethics of work. There is access to public and private funding, that's for sure. And when it comes to public, it's not only government that supports startup development, and there are also a few programs for internationals who are willing to develop their idea in Poland. So we have such a program dedicated to internationals. But also there is funding from EU, which is also available for startups registered in Poland. And there is private funding from VCs, from corporates, from international business, because most of the international business corporates, they have their representatives in Poland. So it's, I don't want to say it's easy to access them, but it is actually possible to get in touch with them and find whether they can verify your solution, your product, your idea. But I don't want to focus only on our strengths. I have one slide, which is about the difficulties that might happen in Poland. Basically, like everyone is complaining about bureaucracy. So I had to put it here on the slide because sometimes they say that we have a lot of paperwork to do in order to have a business here. Yeah, we have to remember that we have not only Polish regulations, but also from the EU. So sometimes it might be a pain in the ass. It's the same with the tax regulations, but probably everyone is complaining about taxes everywhere. So it's the same in Poland. Everyone complains about it. The good news is that actually we can help you with bureaucracy and tax regulations. We have great law companies, lawyers, accountants, companies within our network who are able to help doing it as easy as possible. The other things that we need to remember about is about the cultural differences. We work with Ahmed and we are learning from each other what are the differences between African market and Polish market. So we already have we already know how does it work, but still it is something that we have to remember about when we are doing business in Poland. And then there's another factor, which is our language. Like if you want to speak Polish, it's a hard language to learn, but on the other hand, a lot of people know how to speak English, so it's possible to do business without knowing the language. And you remember that there is winter in Poland sometimes, so it may be cold between, I don't know, November and March, because yeah, that's the time when it's winter time in Poland. Yeah. But on the other hand, I still feel like our ecosystem is growing. Our ecosystem is more and more hungry to have like this international flavor. Everyone in Poland is kind of noticing that we are missing the diversity a bit. So if there is someone from other part of the world who's willing to join us within the ecosystem and create innovations, we are open to do it together. But on the other hand, we are already kind of mature. We have some good startup success stories. Maybe there is no unicorn, or maybe we have a few unicorns that are that could be known all over the world. So we already know how startups are growing, how this ecosystem works, and how we can make the company grow. And we have this supportive infrastructure. There are co-working spaces. There are more and more actually collaboration between cities, because even though you're based in Silesia, you might be based in Silesia, let's say in our region, it is possible to travel to Warsaw within 2 or 3 hours train. So there is an infrastructure not only in terms of doing a business, but also in terms of travel, etc., etc. Yeah, I already mentioned about these programs which are dedicated to international startups. It is possible actually to get some funding from our Polish government to start a business here. And yeah, we have this access to significant funding, which is like VC funds from Poland and other countries. Our network is actually growing here, and we have VC funds, not only from Western Europe, but also people from US are interested in collaborating with startups who are based in Poland. That's for sure. And I guess that's my part, and I'm passing this mic to Kuba, who will tell you a bit more about us and the Silesia region in general.
Hello, guys. I'm waiting for Gosia to shut down the microphone. It's not so nice to be the third speaker because not only Ahmed, but also Gosia told me some of topics I want to talk about. So my speech is going to be quite short. But we are talking about Europe, we are talking about CE region, we are also talking about Poland, but we are located in Silesia region in Poland. So it is a smaller part, another smaller part, but the Silesia region is the second biggest region in Poland. The only bigger one is the Mazovian region, where we've got our capital city, Warsaw. And why here? Because we are quite strongly connected with heavy industry, with entrepreneurship. But currently, the region is looking for innovations. So we have an idea to become the strongest ecosystem in whole Poland and the strongest ecosystem in whole Central Europe for sure. Because we've got a great potential to do it, not only because of this historical industry market, but also because of a lot of money in the region, a lot of universities, a lot of interesting people, a lot of big companies. We are also great located because when we are going to talk about the logistic topic, close to Silesia is the geographical center of the Europe. So it is some kind of interesting thing. We've got a lot of highways. We've got 5 airplane. We've got a lot of places we can travel by train or by plane. And also about 3 or 4 cities, over 2,000 people living in 100 kilometers from us. So we are also so close to Germany, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Austria, Hungary, and Ukraine, and it is a potential of over 100 million people. So it is a lot, and we are a great base to start doing business in Europe. For sure, we are going to be a part, as Gosia said, of rebuilding of Ukraine. So it is also a great potential. And I think a lot of startups from our region is going to be rebuilders of the Ukraine. So it is a great place to start if you are interested in this topic, because as we know, some people are getting poor during the war, but some people are going to earn money. The next 2 slides of my presentation was stolen by Ahmed, so we have to move to the 4th slide. I just want to tell you some more words about CoBrick, because as Ahmed said, we are the startup house supporting startups from all over the world at each stage of growth, talking about the businesses, about the technology, about the investments processes, and so on. But our story is interesting because CoBrick is founded by 6 guys who are first unicorn exit people in Europe. So they sold hybrids to SAP corporate company by more than $1.5 billion 10 years ago, and they decided to run CoBrick 3 years ago as the next business they want to do. So it's not only us. There is a lot of people with us in the team, a lot of people with big amount of money, with a big amount of experience, and so on. So I always think that we are some kind of partner that you are going to ask about someone from Europe, and we've got them in our network, or we know someone who've got these people in our network. So it is the biggest value of cooperating with us, that we can, I guess, that we can find contact to almost everyone in Europe. But Ahmed, if you can show the next slide. But as CoBrick and Silesian Startup Foundation, we are the ecosystem builders. We are doing our best to make, as I said earlier, Silesian startup ecosystem the leader of the local in Poland ecosystems, but also one of the leaders in the whole Central and Eastern Europe. So, what are we doing? We are spreading our network. We've got a great network not only in Poland, not only in Europe, but also in Asia, also in North America. So we are a great place to start and a one-stop shop for, I guess, every startup from all over the world to support. If you can show the next slide. We've got our own idea how to build this ecosystem using six pillars, and you can see this graphic, and it is some kind of ways we build our network. We've got school and universities, so all education sector. We've got the public sector, so government, non-government organization, foundations, and so on. We've got funds, so all people connected with non-equity grants, with venture capital, with private equity, and so on. Now we've got about 100 VC funds in our network, in our direct network, so we can support you also with fundraising if you're interested in. We also have a lot of supporting institutions like law companies, as Gosia said, tax companies, and so on. And of course, business. We cooperate quite close with corporations like Microsoft, like Accenture, and so on. So it is the way where we are building our ecosystem, inviting these people to join our events, our activities, to support companies we cooperate with, and so on. And Ahmed, if you can share the next slide. You can see here for you, most of these partners, it sounds nothing because it's partner from Poland, but you can see that here also brands like Accenture, like APSL is a biggest company aggregating all big IT companies all over the world. There is Innovo. It's a local Polish VC fund, but with the most money invested in last 3 years in Central and Eastern Europe, and so on and so on. So it is just some kind of one puzzle of our network, but it is I'm sharing is just to show you how many people are involved in our ecosystem. Okay, since last 2 years. So because we are working for 2 years on this ecosystem topic, there is over 800 startups in our network, over 70 ecosystem partners, and I guess over a dozen not involved directly as a partner, but also in our network. We made 16 events. 2 of them are totally international, but at each of these events there are also people from all over the world. We also prepared some ebooks for startups, how to support them. We prepared the first and only report about local ecosystem in Central and Eastern Europe. So we have some kind of diagnosis of this ecosystem. It's also in English, so we can share it with you. I guess that you're going to receive it just after the webinar. So as I said, I want to tell you that we are some kind of business networkers who loves to make a business. So not only our business, but also your business. So we can do our best to support you in spreading your wings here in Europe. And I guess it is our role. And it is all from me for this moment, I guess. And I'm going to mute myself.
Thank you so much, Kuba, for all
Ahmed,
the.
you're muted. We don't hear you.
I unmuted myself. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's fine.
Okay. Thank you, Kuba, for this valuable presentation and all the information that you shared with us. Just a reminder that we are 3 in this project, and you can reach to any of us at any time. You have our emails and phone numbers. It's also available on WhatsApp. you can reach to us directly. And I think I will jump onto the Q&A session at the moment. So feel free to open your mic and speak your voice.
Well, I think that in this whole presentation we are missing one thing, which is like kind of describing what we are offering within the project for you guys, basically, because we haven't mentioned that. So it's well, the project is actually divided into 4 steps. The first one is happening right now, which is like this webinar, and later on we might have with all of you individual calls just to see what you need, what are your expectations from the project or from your presence in Europe. What do you need here? Why do you want to come here? And once we learn more about you guys, we are actually able to give you some kind of a path where to go next. But yeah, our second step that we assumed within this project is kind of leads discovery. It basically means that we are collaborating together for, let's say, 6 months or something, and we are trying to get you connected with partners from Poland or other part of Europe, of the region. Whatever you need, we might help you in getting in touch with people so that you see whether your product actually fits to Europe. Like I said at the very beginning, in Europe, the validation of the startup goes through clients. So that's our second part of this project. Then the third step, well, we can actually adjust all the steps over here because it's kind of individually designed for your needs. But it says that we assume that the first step after collaboration for a while together online, we meet in person and do some kind of a discovery here in Europe. Basically, we'll organize, let's say, a mission for you here in Silesia. And according to your needs, we might organize some in-person meetings with, I don't know, business representatives, investors, and other partners from our ecosystem. And then the fourth step is if you are willing to collaborate more and, let's say, set up a business in Silesia and develop, like, start your journey to Europe from our region, we are able to assist you with all the administrative and legal support. We are able to provide you with consulting services, product market fit services, prepare go-to-market strategy for you, growth strategy for you. So basically, all of those business and technical actually services we are also able to provide you if that's something that you need. Is there anything else that you want to add? Would you like to add?
I don't think so. I guess that just that we are believing quite close cooperation with you, and that's all.
Great. How about innovation in healthcare in your ecosystem?
Well,
Would you like to answer?
no, you can go. I'm going to unmute.
I think the you have, yeah.
Okay.
I have this stuff from Zabra, right?
How about innovation in healthcare in your ecosystem? Now we are located in Gliwice, and our closest neighbor is Zabrze, and Zabrze is some kind of health tech hub in Poland and in center CEE. They are organizing a lot of international events. They've got a lot of investors from this market, and they have involved over, if I remember good, over 200 startups from all over the Europe in this field. So this question is quite nice because the organizer of this health tech hub in Zabrze is also our partner. So we are cooperating quite close in all initiatives, and also we can invite Janusz for the next webinar, or maybe not next, but soon.
I think we can. Can you hear me?
Oh, the question: how hard is the bureaucracy to incorporate in the region? As Gosia said, everyone don't like taxes and documents and so on. I don't think we are we are more bureaucracy than other country in our region. So I don't think it is the very important factor to decide if you want to do business here or not. You just need a quite good partner who is responsible for your law and tax topics, and you can do your business with no problems. Almost all of these things are regulated by European Union, so there is no much more than in Germany or than in France or somewhere else. It is similar. Of course, we've got some of our local problems as a country, but as I said, it's quite similar to other European Union countries.
Also, there is a question about how about
do you have any collaboration with media startups? I need some more details. What do you mean talking about media startups? If you are interested in media and marketing and communications topic, my background is marketing. For the 15 years, I was the co-owner of the international marketing agency. So we've quite big clients from all over the world. So I guess we can support you in very, very different ways. Using our network in media startups, but also in creative agencies, media houses, and so on. So the media startup is one of the most interesting topics for me directly.
Okay, can you hear me, Kuba and Gosia?
We've got some more questions, so I'm going to answer. Or maybe you guys would like to answer because this is your topic. Okay, so it's easier for me to start with the question about HR. I am the co-owner of the startup Planetary Metaverse, which is a metaverse startup, the mobile metaverse startup. But we are also interested in HR technologies, and this quite important topic in the whole Central Europe. There's a lot of talks. The HR for me is the second topic just after artificial intelligence for this moment in the region. And I guess that we can also support you. But as I said, we are going to talk you face to face, so on the individual calls, so we can talk a lot more about this topic, how we can support you with HR topic. AR. Okay. Is there anything else? Gosia, can you answer about the legal topics? It's the perfect topic for me.
Yeah, I would say that. Sorry, because neither me nor Kuba is good with our finances and our accounting stuff. That's why we have a company that's actually doing for us, because it's like it's also for us the pain in the ass. So we have a good advisor for that, but I'm not sure. Are we eligible for this project? What kind of eligibility you are referring to? Mohammed, if you could just specify it, that would be easier.
But I can answer the second question about establishing the legal presence in Europe and business expansion. I guess that we can support you also in preparing the legal entity in Poland or in Germany, but it's quite more difficult for us. But Poland, as a country from European Union, you have an entity here. Your access to Europe and European Union and also. I guess that in program we are going to support you using our partners like tax and legal companies to start your entity if you want, of course. And this is the second part. In spite of this business part, we are interested in. So it's not a problem. As I said, we want to be a one-stop shop for the startups, so we can support you in every way and every topic you need. And if we can't do it, we've got a partners who can support you.
Great.
Is there a fund to establish and startup support in Poland? We've got some kind of a fund called the Poland Prize, but it is the Gosia topic. because she was working with Poland Prize a few years ago. So maybe Gosia can tell something more about it.
Yeah, about this fund that's actually helping startups. I know that there is a startup visa for internationals, and I think that this one is an ongoing project for internationals who are willing to enter Poland. And right now, a few major economic zones or other entities, they are actually like creating such a program that's going to be available starting from January 2024. Yes, 2024, and they will do, let's say, some kind of scouting process for international startups who are willing to come here to Poland. And once you will be accepted to this program, you will receive some kind of a grant and every help that is needed to make this your company eligible on the market and to make this product market fit. So yeah, there is a fund, but it's not like ongoing process. It depends on the public money distribution. That's how it works, basically.
Yeah, but for sure, the biggest business zone in Poland from Katowice is also our partner. We are cooperating quite close. We know that they are also doing their best to receive this grant to give it to international startups. So just after the start of this program, we have a strong support from our partner who should be one of the operators of this grant.
I think there was a question at first about, is there any incentives for tax incentives or other incentives for startups to operate?
What do you need to know? I guess that just after the meeting today, Ahmed is going to send you a brief you can fill. And after that, we are going to arrange the one-to-one call to talk with you about details of your company and about your needs. Okay.
Okay, the next question is, are you open to supporting or collaborating with African startup ecosystem? What are your requirements and benefits for the African startup ecosystems? Definitely, we are open for collaboration. That's one of the purposes of this call. We want to be more international. We want to build bridges. We want to create various initiatives between different countries. So, you know, there are few ways of collaborating because we might promote our initiatives somehow, or we can organize like exchange travels, or we can just like match our startups with your companies or your startups with our companies. So that's definitely something that we are interested in. So yeah, let's talk more about that after this call.
Yeah, but first of all, we have to remember that we've got a regional, local, or continental ecosystem. But in startups, in doing a startup business, we have to think globally. So the most important thing is to think about that we've got one big ecosystem, and all of us are part of it. So we have to cooperate if you want to do a big business.
Okay, there is one more question. Do we have to be 100% present all over the time in Poland during this program? I mean, your presence in Poland is actually just, well, at the very beginning is only this first step when we are creating like short visit mission here. So that we can get to know each other. And if you decide to start a business from Poland, then basically it's your decision. How do you want to coordinate it? Whether you want to do it from here, whether you want to hire somebody who's Polish, let's say, and is doing CE for you, or you want to do it remotely, then, you know, basically it's up to you. How do you feel it's the best for your company?
Yeah, but the first part of our offer is connecting you with potential business partners and clients, and you can do it remotely. You don't have to visit Poland. You can talk with them via Google Meets or something like this. So as Gosia said, the only part we would like to invite you is some kind of business mission. We don't have a name of this business mission, so So we're using the business mission as name, and it is the only moment when you have to be here. Of course, if you want to start legal entity here, you have to visit Poland and to do some documents and to visit some places. But to cooperate with us, you don't need to have the legal entity here in Poland. You can have it. It is the easiest way to start doing business in Europe, but you can also doing it with your entity in Africa or wherever you are, because business is international. So it's all.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and as Ahmed wrote, our motto is online first. So
I think, can you hear me now, Goja and Kuba?
Yes,
Okay.
we hear you.
So if I summarize, the first thing is to go through the one-on-one session if you are interested to do business in Germany plus CEE. During that session, we will assess your need and we will tell you how we can collaborate together. After that, we will get back to you with some kind of an action plan what we see fit for you. And then if you want to take it further, we will start always online first and then give you some propositions and about how to resolve that need and which is suited to your, let's say, way of doing business. If you want to do it online first, okay, this is how you're going to do it. If you want to come here and visit first, okay, I can organize it for you. If you want to do B2B matchmaking, and we in our project we mentioned more for B4B because we want you to establish a meaningful and sustainable business relation that is always centered on pre-clients acquisition. So once you establish that action plan, we will help you to execute it. So first, if you are really interested in bringing to life your project to Germany plus CEE, just feel free to sign up through that form. You can scan the QR code with your phone that's here over the screen, and I will follow up after the session with an email with the link another time, a recording of the session, and the report on the Silesian startup ecosystem. And hopefully, let's do some business together.
Yeah, basically that's the goal. So yeah, I think that Ahmed will follow up you, and then we can move further.
Great. Thank you all. Thank you all for being with us today. And this is the first of a series of webinars. Since you assisted today, we will keep you in touch via email in advance about the next session. And also feel free to advise us if you have specific, for instance, if you want, for instance, to take us an industry in specific, and we can make a talk like Kuba said about the guy who's managing the healthcare, let's say, part in Georgia, and we can see how we can focus on that industry. Okay, so